So guys, it is Wednesday and also the new month here in Motorfest, which is actually, I believe, the last month until the big update. At least I kind of think it is anyway. But for that one, we'll have the Taxi Vroom Underglow, which is honestly pretty interesting. The next summit after that, though, we'll have ourselves the old Vibe Tire and, of course, the Alfa Romeo in gold there. I gotta say, though, the Rayman one looks pretty interesting. You guys will see the Rayman toy and also a title in a summit, which I think we've only had that one other time, I believe. But I will say, though, the car on this, I think that's an RC car. It honestly looks really cool, bro. I'm not going to lie. That thing looks hilarious. The floating wheels in the back, dude. I want it. I'm not going to lie. I do. But also, I used to play Rayman a lot back in the day, so that's honestly pretty dope. But I got to say, though, this car right here, guys, is going to be a wild summit because I'm going to say it, this thing actually looks sweet, dude. I need this. I love the carbon fiber wheels and the detail on this car. This is actually one summit car, I'm going to say it, is probably one of the most excited cars I've ever seen in the summit in a long time. Like, I just like the way this thing looks with that setup. It's going to be a pretty crazy summit because I bet you people are going to battle out for this thing. But nonetheless, though, let's jump right into this summit now, guys. So this one is mainly rally focused with a few Street Tier 1 events in there, which I gotta say, the Street Tier 1 events for me were okay, but I kind of wish it was honestly just all rally, as some of these Street Tier 1 events were pretty interesting, but I do like having rally summits. I do like off-roading, and I think rally is really fun, and it's actually one of my favorite things to do in a lot of these games is off-road or rally race and stuff. So yeah, but either way, though, the escape here in the Lancia, guys, honestly, very easy to do. The way I would recommend doing this is driving past the objective and turning around, hitting this, heading toward the highway and going straight that way. It is easily the easiest way to do it. That's what I would recommend for that one. For the speed trap here, to be honest, I mean, I could probably get a little better on it with my nitrous control because you have to hit a big jump thing in like the volcano thingy, bobber thingy. Hit that, and then you pretty much hit the objective. I pretty much hit it and then hit my nitrous a bit, got 158, and you know what? I will probably be happy with 145 miles per hour. But I gotta say though, the track of the week, guys, it is easily one of my favorite tracks of the week I have ever done so far. Okay, this was insanely fun. I probably could do much better on this as my first run, which this was my first run, was not all that great as I was still trying to figure out where I was going, as I really didn't. But this race, I would say, might end up kind of annoying people or at least confusing you a good amount. I will admit, though, it is a very fun event. I liked how weird and unique and just funky this event was, and I do like it. I think people would like this one more than last week, but also they may like this one even less because it's even more funky than last week's was. Besides all of that, though, the first event here on the top left, guys, was honestly fairly simple. It's basically a Street Tier 1 event. I believe it might be one of the new races in the playlist. At least I think it is. There's a lot of corners, and there's some areas you can cut. So I would recommend being careful, maybe even running this one or two extra times just to get the overall route down. But overall, though, the race was pretty entertaining in the Lancia. I didn't really mind it too much. The other one from there, though, Rally Lone, guys, this one is in a stock Lancia 037. I'm going to say this, by the way, I might be a little bit crazy here, but I also think players would agree. I don't really like this car, bro, in stock form. In fact, I think it's awful to drive. It's just very funky the way that it can spin out or just have issues with its steering. I don't know what it is, but it feels so dang wonky in stock form, okay? And my run was obviously not the greatest, but I was not driving this car again, as I really did not like it. From there, though, the Street Tier 1 Lancia event, guys, you will recognize this race. Very simple to do. It is the circular event, or the really short, like, little dirt type of race that I think it's in the Vintage Garage playlist. It might be in that one. But this one is very easy, guys. It's essentially a circle. The big thing is getting around the corners as quickly as you can, but do not be afraid to use that nitrous when you are going around drifting to keep that speed up. Overall, this event is fairly simple. From there, though, guys, we'll have the B-sides. This one will end up being in the Lancia. Surprising. I did end up picking the S4, though, as I put a random build on this car, guys, and you probably will end up laughing because every car I used in this summit literally has the exact same build on it, and I did pretty dang well in most races. As y'all know, I'm fairly casual in this game. I do not try hard. I just do the events. I don't use cuts most of the time and none of that stuff. I just jump in there And I would say the Delta S4 with the build I was running was honestly really fun to drive. It felt pretty sticky to the ground, and I would say for off-roading it was a lot better than what I expected. The next race, on the other hand, though, is also going to be on the annoying side, guys. This one has to be done in Street Tier 1, the Lancia Stratos. I think I said that right. Either way, though, this race is definitely somewhere this car should not be. I will say that. It's on the Red Bull track thing. Have a little bit of cement driving asphalt, then you go on mud, which this car does not like. There's a cut there you can do to mix that one or like cut that whole corner. But my goodness, though, dude, this car is so bad in the mud. It just spins all over the place. So I would recommend being careful there. Again, I probably would have liked seeing maybe a real rally car in this one. Might have been more entertaining. But, yeah, good luck with this race. I think people might actually not like that event more than the track of the week. But the final event here in the Lancia 037 is probably one of the easier races of the entire summit, guys. It's that one rally event we all know and love and have done so many times, and very simple to do. The 037 with a fairly simple build on it did way better than I expected. The car handled better than it did in the stock form in the other race. My goodness, it was terrible. Either way, though, this race is very simple to do, guys. Nothing too insane on this one. Stay on the road, keep your speed up, and there will be some cuts on this one that you can easily do to shave off some time there to make you a tad faster. Overall, though, this summit for me was honestly pretty dang cool. I actually enjoyed this one more than some of the previous summits, and that track of the week event really just had me laughing, dude. I genuinely enjoyed it, even though I have a feeling it might end up annoying some players as it can be very funky to do. And if you guys are looking to get this reward, I would say overall players might avoid this summit simply because some of the events. But if you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comments below. Let's jump right into this.